Hey guys, how's it going? Apologies for not being at a campsite right now using the stuff that we're talking about in this video, but enjoy me talking about the Topoak 270-degree awning, the room, that's kind of a new feature, as well as their pressurized water tank and how the accessories could level up your camping, whether you're a hardcore overlander or you're just trying to go out and be a little bit more comfortable on family camping trips. So like I said, regardless of the application or the style of camping in which you enjoy, sometimes getting out and camping isn't about being uncomfortable or escape, but it can be about finding a perfect balance between bringing just enough of home with you on the road. And that's why we're going to talk about the combo of the awning room plus water tank being, in my opinion, one of the most underlooked, underrated perfect combos for camping and overlanding. Before we jump in, I'd love to thank some sponsors, supporters, disclose my relationship with the company in which we're talking about today. So first off, Topoak, they sent me their 270-degree awning, a second one, because they sent it to me before. I made a video about it here, which you can watch later. We'll kind of cover some of those overarching themes of what the awning is. But essentially, I sold that one, got a 180-degree awning from a different company that's even more budget focused. Wasn't really happy with that one. And Topoak was kind enough to send me out a second 270-degree awning, their awning room, as well as the pressurized water tank for free of charge. No money's changing hands. They don't get to see this video beforehand or just have talking points in it. So this video is my own. And I really do appreciate and want to honor your guys' trust in me and the channel. Additionally, I like to talk about a few more supporters of the channel. DK Mags, they're a fantastic store. They've got everything you as a gun guy could ever want. If you're a Minnesota local, tell them that I sent you. They'll give you a discount off of most things in the store. But also they have a fantastic online catalog and they'll get whatever you need to you. DK and all the other companies we're talking about, there's going to be a kind of bit.ly link in my description. Click on there. That's going to be the homepage for all of these vendors, as well as some savings codes that you can use to save some money. Next up, Buffalo Creek ammo for all of your Freedom Seed needs. They got 9mm, 300 blackout, 5.56, 8.6 blackout, a few others that I might be missing here. Eberl stock. They have some exciting new sales coming up. Their first big sale is going to be October 28th through November 10th, as well as their second being November 25th through December 2nd. Both sales are going to run the same promos, which are site-wide 25% off, certain apparel up to 60% off, as well as packs, bags, kind of that stuff, up to 50% off. Take advantage of it. My code, which normally saves you 10% off the site, will not apply during these sales. So thanks for listening to the ads. Back to the video. So previously, out of all the awnings I've tested, the Topoak 270 has already been my favorite, hands down. The best bang for your buck, in my opinion. And now with these new accessories, they've only made it even better. The room, although not a novel idea, takes the 270-degree coverage that you get and just gives it a fully zipped in, fully enclosed, meshed out from the bugs, private room that you can take advantage of for your base camp. Many applications for it. It's great for sleeping, changing clothes, using it as a sheltered kitchen, or just hanging out if the weather turns ugly. The material feels durable. It's definitely not like a premium material, but it's going to do the job in terms of keeping the climate out and the comfort in. You have multiple entry points, and the whole thing is pretty lightweight, easy to set up. I was worried about the 3 bags being difficult to keep track of, and when you're stripping campsite, getting them back into the bags being impossible, but it was actually much simpler and very straightforward. All in total, it probably takes about 10 minutes to get set up. Speaking of things that I thought would be more of a pain than the added benefit it would give you, the water tank. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll use it, maybe not. But having it really did extend capabilities and make kind of friction points of camping that I have always hated frictionless. So it can be as simple as you want it to be. You don't have to use any electricity. You don't have to use any pumps. Although included, it does come with a little toolbox that has enclosed a water pump for you to use. All you got to do is pressurize it with air. So that air compressor that you have for your tires to make sure that you're at pressure, and that if you go off road and you air down, you can get back up to pressure. You just stick that baby on the tank, set it up to pressure. It recommends not going above 2.5 bar. So I'll put the PSI conversion on screen here for all of you Americans, but it's very easy and it's very lightweight without the water. Obviously, you put 8 gallons of water in there, it's going to weigh a little bit more. But that really frees up the flexibility to mount it pretty much anywhere on the truck, especially if you have like a bed rack, makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, the thing was very straightforward and a pleasure to use. So kind of talking about the field impressions. I mean, it looks cool on camera, it looks great on social media, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. But is it practical? And what can it do for you? I would say yes. It makes something that you do 3 times a day, which is eating, much simpler when you put in the effort to make a meal that's better than not throwing hate at peak refuel, but something that you pour water in a bag or just Kraft mac and cheese. You want to make sure that you can restore your kitchen space, the dishes, to baseline so that you can eat again very soon. And having pressurized water makes doing the dishes much, much easier. Before, when I first started, doing dishes was kind of an afterthought. And we'd take water and we'd kind of like pour it out, waste a ton of water, which although you could argue this method wastes water too. And then we just put some soap on, try and wipe things down, and then just pour out a butt ton more water and call it a day. Things didn't really get all that clean, and it took forever, and it just wasn't a great process. Then we moved up to the lazier process, which was grabbing the all-purpose kind of gator wipes, just wiping it down, rinsing a little water, calling it good. And that works, but I would argue it's a bit wasteful of relatively expensive wipes. Finally, and I don't think I'm going to be going back, we have the water tank where you can pressurized rinse off dishes. Food's actually going to come off with that water pressure, and you can scrub things down more efficiently afterwards, give it a final blast. To me, it feels like the perfect blend and what dishes should be in a camping trip. But outside of dishes, like especially having a dog coming to campsite, she gets into everything. She loves to run around. She gets muddy. She gets dirty. And back when we had a rooftop tent, spoiler alert, we're going to be getting more rooftop tents in the future on the channel. It's been a huge pain to wipe off the paws before we lug her up the ladder to go to bed at night. And having this water tank, you can just kind of just spray off paws. You can spray off muddy boots, muddy gear, things like that. It's not going to be a huge mess anymore. Having the awning room has been awesome too, especially at night once the fire goes out, once we're out of wood. We have some place to go in, and with the awning itself having LED strip lights, you've got your very own lit kind of living room that you can shut off with the mesh so you're not attracting the bugs with your light, but you can still have conversations. You can still play Nintendo Switch. You can still play card games. You can still hang out, enjoy a beer or two, and have a good time. One other thing that really hits me right in the heart that I love to see is the quick release aspects. Now, Topoak should absolutely do these quick releases, but I'm running some quick release brackets from Prinsu that just go natively on my rack. And on one side, I have the awning that I can actually, and the awning in my previous video, I said it's going to require 2 people. With these quick release mounts, I have been able to successfully put it on and take it off by myself. It is strenuous and you might want to warm up for it, but it's doable. And so that makes coming back from campsite, stripping the truck as well, a lot easier. I should get these for the other side of the truck for the water tank. Right now, I just take the water tank off. I just unscrew those 2 bolts and then take it off. That's easy enough, but it could be quicker with more quick detach mounts. Reason I'm doing this is because I'm not going camping a million nights a year. Usually it's maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 trips a year. I'd say I probably averaged 2 or 3 over the past few years. And so having that extra wind resistance and weight removed from the truck for daily driving, something that I do appreciate a lot. Talking about pros and cons and value stuff, I got it written down here. Some of the big pros for me have been the sufficient material for what you're paying for it. In my opinion, it hits that level of meeting and or exceeding slightly what you expect for how much you're going to spend. The zippers are robust and high quality, but they're not going to blow your mind. Same thing with the materials. The full enclosure makes it usable pretty much all year round. As long as you're able to kind of thermally regulate things, you can stay pretty comfortable. The water tank is super simple. It looks to be durable, doesn't rely on power. The welds look good, the coating looks good, everything's like that. And everything packs down compactly. Topoak did think about how they wanted to set up and how they could maximize the slimness of when it's packed down, how you can fit it in your vehicles and get it to camp. Some of the cons are that this is going to take practice to get used to. With the tank, it took a few minutes before we realized we had to put air in it. And then with the awning room, it took a couple of minutes to figure out which Velcro thing goes where, how the zipper's made up, and how tight to kind of pull on the guy lines and stuff. So you're going to get faster. It's going to get easier with practice. As most things camping, it's not going to be ideal in high winds. If you're living in Chicago, if you're camping in the middle of Chicago and you're trying to set it up, it might be a little bit crazy. Last con is going to be that the tank, it could use like a visible pressure gauge so that you know what you're working with. Obviously, if the stream starts to kind of start dying off, you got to plus up on your air, but could be nice to have a little bit visible queue there. All in, you're going to be under $1,000, and that includes the awning. I think this whole setup punches way above its weight class and really extends the capability. Now, they might not be the sexiest things or the flashiest things that you could put on a rig, but in my opinion, these are comfort enhancers. They're not necessarily needs, but I think it strikes a middle ground between a pure, like, ego-driven, nice to have, not really adding too much value, and something that you really need. I think it lands somewhere nicely in the middle of, it removes friction points, it makes things more efficient and easier. And on this channel, that's kind of what I'm all about. I'm all about optimizing, I'm all about driving performance and trying to make the outdoors fun, comfortable, enjoyable, so that we can craft lasting memories and spend time in God's creation. I'm going to be continuing to put these things through their paces in a probably longer term approach. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of them because I actually do like the application. So don't worry, Topoak, you're not going to have to send me a third awning. Although I am glad that I did sell the other one, because now I was able to get the passenger side as opposed to, they sent me the driver's side last time. And I prefer to have all that extra weight on the opposite side if possible. If you guys want to see more content like this in the future, subscribe, share this video, give it a like, signal to Topoak that it's worth sending me out more stuff. I really do appreciate you guys. As always, guys, God bless you and your family. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.